What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Today's video is going to be a very good build video, a PvE build for the raid and for any PvE content, the hardest of the hard PvE content, and this is the infinite LMG build. I'm very happy with the way this build works. It suits my playstyle perfectly. Sustained damage to NPCs is the best way to do it, constantly firing at your enemies without having to reload. So, why do I call it the infinite LMG build? Well, first of all, you never ever have to reload. And yes, guys, you never ever have to reload your gun. Infinite shooting. Constantly firing. It's about a 2-second delay between each 150 magazine. When the Stoner LMG comes out, in the title update 5, you'll have 250 rounds to fire, and then you push a button, scroll, well, on console, you push 2 buttons, and you are back to your full 150 or Stoner LMG 250 magazine, and you can constantly fire, and it does massive amounts of damage as well. So let's get into this build. I'm going to try and explain it as best I can. It works very simply, but it has more utility than what meets the eye. You're not as tanky as, let's say, what I normally run, which is about 300 plus armor. But there's a reason why we don't need that much armor in this build. So first and foremost, what gun are we going to be using? Now, generally, I would be using Optimist, but we don't have the necessary talents available. So what you guys are going to want to be running is Unhinged. That is what you want to be going for. So I've got my one right here. This gives you extra damage because you generally want to stay in cover when you fire with this. Standing in the open, constantly firing an infinite non-reloading LMG, you don't want to just be standing in the open. You'll get killed very quickly. You want to be able to be in cover, and we're going to have various healing elements that'll keep you sustained while you're constantly firing. So make sure you guys have got Unhinged and Allegro. Now, modding it is very important for the PvE content as well. We have the Nemesis, which is holstered. Now, you get 25% headshot damage when you use a scope. So you guys want to be using an ACOG scope because you don't actually have to scope in, but it's considered a 4-time scope. So you do get the buff. Make sure you run this on your LMG. It's a must. Then what we're going to do is you're going to change reload speed, and you want to go for stability because you need that extra stability. If you're a laser and you can shoot whatever without stacking stability, you can go for accuracy, but it does get a bit much. I mean, when you guys are firing for literally like 5 minutes straight, not reloading, it does get a bit much. Trust me, you do need a little bit of stability on your build. Now, if you're on console, you could maybe roll the mask and the holster, or the mask and the knee pads, for ongoing directive, which gives you more weapon handling. That will help you to constantly fire if you struggle with the thumbsticks on console. So, what are we going to go for here? Crit damage is not what we want. We want to go for accuracy because, you know what? Let's just go for stability. It's up to you guys. Like, those mods are just for how you play and what you feel is better. Remember, Unhinged, actually, let's go through something. Unhinged takes away your accuracy, which is, it's difficult to fire in, but when you're in cover, your reticle will actually go smaller, so it's not too necessary, but you guys decide what you want. But just keep in mind that you do lose weapon stability and accuracy from the Unhinged talent, but it does give you a big buff to damage. So I'm hitting 28.7k for that LMG. So like I said before, the Nemesis is what you want in the holstered weapon. Now, with this build, you would like to use a revolver. I don't have one now. We don't want to use the Demolitionist. We are using the new specialization, guys, the gunner specialization. It's very important that you use this. Why do you use this? Because of the OP medkit. So the armor kit that you get from this is all you need to know. Stack LMG damage with your specialization and that overpowered medkit. Once you've done that, you should unlock as much as you can, obviously, but we need that medkit for what's being rolled on the backpack. Alright, so let's go over what this build can actually do. So what's going to happen, guys, is you're going to be in cover and you are going to kill an enemy with your pistol. You don't have to do that, but when you do, this is where the Dodge City Gunslingers Holster comes in. This is what we're going to be using as our holster. I'm going to start off with this. You kill an enemy with your pistol. You do get a lot of buffs to your pistol when it's drawn, so you'll have all these reload speed, optimal range, so you can hit them from far away. So use a nice revolver. So swapping to your pistol reloads all weapons. That's something that we're going to be using in this build the majority of the time. So use a keybind on on PC. So keybind for me is number 3. So I push 3 on my keyboard and it swaps to the pistol, and then I swap back using another keybind on my mouse so you can instantly swap. I didn't do it in this video because I just wanted to show you that it's still even fast when you just scroll with a mouse wheel. On console, it'll be way quicker. You just click a button twice and it's instantly changed, and it does proc. So you'll be able to literally basically reload 150 mag LMG in about a second. So it's actually not even reeling, but you guys know what I mean. So you do get that the perforator now. So what happens is pistol headshot kills grant 20% weapon damage and allows your primary and secondary weapons to penetrate enemies for 8 seconds. So you do get 20% weapon damage. So it's very, very strong. And when you swap, you'll be doing way more damage and you'll be able to penetrate the enemies. So this just adds a stack of utility to this build. Not only do you not have to reload, but you get all that buff to damaging the enemies. So next up is the mask. We want to put some damage to elites on here. I got 45%. You guys want to get as much as you can because this is a PvE build. 5% health is not as much as I would like it to have, but guys can stack as much as you can. Now, hard hitting is the talent that you need to have on this as well. Then on the chest piece, I've gone for the Petrov defense group. Now, I don't have the right rolls for this build because I'm constantly trying to make builds for you guys, so I can't min-max everything. So you need to roll armor, maybe possibly get a higher percentage of health. Obviously, the armor I've got on here isn't too good. Headshot damage and weapon damage is ideal, so that'll just make the build even better. Hardened is the talent. That's very important. You guys want to have hardened, that's for sure, because you want to boost your armor just a little bit. Now, you could put another talent that would work in slot, maybe like Unstoppable Force if it can be procced, but I've just gone for that just to boost above 200k. But it's completely up to you. You guys can choose that. Like I said before, the utility of this build is from the holster and the backpack, which we're going to get to now. So you got all this damage to elite, decent amount of tankiness, infinite shooting from your weapon, and that extra damage if you want to swap to a pistol and get that kill quickly. It's quite easy. It works pretty well, especially when you use a keybind on PC. So on the backpack, this is not the right backpack for me. You want to be rolling some armor, but health is very important for the raid as well when you get into the part where the plane is in the middle and you get the gas and everything. So your health needs to be at least 70k, I would say, for the raid. It can be a bit lower, but you're going to suffer in the long run. So obviously we don't want crit chance or skill pass. You guys want weapon damage and maybe even cooldown reduction. So that's what you want, but that's not important. That's not why I'm showing you guys this build. Don't worry about those attributes. That can be done by you guys. You guys can fully spec to whatever you need to make yourself tankier, or maybe you're going to want to put some extra skill rolls, more damage. It's up to you. Just make sure that these are active. So hard hitting is another talent that we need to have. Efficient is one of the most important things in this build. Using an armor kit has a 50% chance not to consume the armor kit. This works a lot of the time. You proc that massive armor kit, guys. That gives you 150% armor back. That's why we use a specialization. You get 150% armor back. You get out of cover and you just slaughter the NPCs constantly. And then you can't have unbreakable or things like that with this, so it won't work with unbreakable. But this is an amazing talent right now. It works very, very well, especially when you need it the most. It really does buff your tankiness a lot. That's why we don't need to be that tanky, is because of efficient. So the gloves is not perfect. Don't worry about this. Like I said, guys, LMG damage you want there and headshot damage. So precise. Why we use this? Because it's multiplicative and it gives us the most output for the damage. It's easy to hit headshots with this build. If you're in cover, your LMG reticle goes smaller. You'll be surprised. It really works. Now, if you're on console, like I said before, you could have run ongoing directive for weapons stability and accuracy, which is weapon handling. But now you could also go, there's another talent here, which is called braced. While in cover, handling is increased by 25%. That would probably be better because you can use your other role for various other talents like the damage to elites one. So I would go for this if you guys are on console. It'll just help you just to fire from cover. It really does make a big difference to console players, so I would recommend that. But what I have here is just the Gila Guard, or however people want me to pronounce it. 5% armor, 20k health, because we need to get that health up to 100k, which is important because the armor is going to be easily regenerated by the medkit from the efficient talent, so keep that in mind. Patience just buffs the armor once more. You're going to be just sitting, repairing yourself at all times, and it's really strong. I love this talent for PvE. I recommend it all the time. So what I've done is most of my mods are health mods, health regen, and things like that. It's all about regenerating your health while consistently firing. It just works all around, guys. So let's go over some of the skills that we're going to be using. You guys can play around with whatever skills you want to use. This is not a skill build. In the raid, generally you use the hive to revive yourself or your teammates, and the chem launcher. So I would just go for those two. You can mod them to however you can. Use auxiliary batteries like what I showed in my previous videos. Put auxiliary batteries for this build. This will be more of a hybrid build if you want to get your cooldowns down and things like that. So let's go over some of the stats. Weapon damage 28k. We got crit chance is not important. Headshot damage 80% is really high for an LMG. So that I'm very happy with that. That's where most of our damage comes from. Now, another thing to bear in mind is all weapons damage bonus 23% plus 33% LMG damage. That's a lot of damage in my book, to be honest. Plus the damage to lich was a 65%. So all three of those stacked together is a massive amount of damage, guys. So I really love this build. I hope you guys give this build a try. Let's go over what we have. So guys, what this build is a massive damage outputting build that is consistent. It's sustained damage at all times. With this holster, you can swap your pistol, gain extra damage utility, and not have to reload your LMG instantly. So you're just constantly firing an overpowered LMG that wrecks through waves and waves of NPCs while sitting in cover, healing yourself, getting massive amounts of headshot damage, and efficiently reusing your medkits without even using them. I love this build. It's very fun to use. I hope you guys give this build a try. Let me know in the comments if you do, and leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out, boys.